Are you a deviant? You know, like those of us who binge watch serial killer programs, laugh at the stupid shit people do, and revel in anything adult? Well, you found your people. Join us as we crack open the door to the padded cell and release the insanely stupid, the weirdly wonderful, and those who choose to live outside societal norms. We'll delve into the strange, the macabre, the sexy, and the outrageous. So, if you're a deviant, then you have your place with us in the padded cell. Right, hello, and welcome to episode 86 of the Padded Cell Podcast. And today it will be the 8th of May. 8th
of May, fucking hell.
Do you know every year just goes quick, doesn't it? As you get older, it just goes quicker and quicker. Well, I don't know, it just seems to be flying by.
This is ridiculous.
Yeah, I think because I'm heading towards my 50th, I'm a bit like, slow down, man. Slow the fuck down.
I think it's the podcast as well, because we're constantly recording in advance.
Yeah.
With dates and dates ahead, aren't we? So.
Yeah, it's always like planning ahead all the time, isn't it? You know?
Yeah.
It's absolutely mad.
Yeah.
So we're not far off our 100. Need to get our heads together over that, you know.
Okay.
Do something really, really special.
Yeah.
What we could do is, rather than have just like, you know, the normal 50-minute episode, we have 2.5 hours here. We do like an extra long one or something.
Good, yeah.
I don't know. Have a little think about it. Anyway, so I'm going to head straight into on this day.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So on this day, 8th of May, I know you just hate this sort of thing, history, but 1348. You're like, if it's not 2016, I don't care.
Yeah, I remember it well. 1348.
Okay. 1348. It's quite a significant date in the UK.
Yeah.
But I'm not expecting you to know it. But you have heard of it. So in 1348, 8th of May, this was the day that the bubonic plague arrived in the UK.
Oh, here we go. Love the plague.
Arrived in the UK via ship from Bordeaux to what is now Weymouth in the UK.
Okay.
Do you know how it was the Black Death? Do you know how it was spread?
They said rats, wasn't it?
Fleas on rats.
Yeah.
And it was called the Black Death for, do you know why?
Wasn't it didn't they get black blisters or something
gangrene?
Like that? Yeah.
Hey, fucking hell. See, you do know a little bit of history.
Yeah.
I'm just filling the gaps on this one.
Yeah.
You can dip in if you want and tell me other stuff that you know.
The plague and the pyramids. That's all I
know. Oh, dear me. Okay, so the Black Death, yes, it's because you can get gangrene, but it causes like sudden high fever. We're not just talking like, you know, something that Calpol will put to bed.
Yeah.
You know, 104s, 5s, pains in the abdomen, arms and legs, headaches, extreme headaches, large and swollen lumps in the lymph nodes. That's called the bubos. That's where the bubonic plague comes from. Now, these are on the lymph nodes. Your lymph nodes are under your skin, yeah? You obviously got loads in your neck. Yeah. And you used to get all underarms, used to get loads there, and they literally leak. But they're under the skin, so they must come up so far and then just explode.
Through the skin, yeah.
Imagine the smell.
Fucking hell,
yeah. They used to get abdominal pain, diarrhea, nausea, vomiting, and gangrene. It wasn't a nice way to go. Yeah. Obviously, no cure for it at the time. Now, little fun fact here. Have you heard about Pope Gregory IX killing loads of cats?
No.
Okay. So Pope Gregory IX was supposed to have believed that cats bore Satan's spirit and ordered that they all be killed. Okay. So Pope, this is obviously in Rome. Yeah. And plague was just everywhere over there before it came here.
Yeah.
So he ordered that the cats be killed, but this resulted supposedly in more rats carrying fleas that basically made the plague spread all over the place. Now, there's lots of holes in the story, so we don't know if it's true, to be honest with you. But we do know that killing of cats and dogs has happened, though. It happened in the UK, so once the plague hit our shores, they put in loads of measures, and some measures that we put in for COVID. You're staying indoors, staying away from each other, all that kind of thing. But one of the things that they thought that was spreading the plague was street cats and dogs. They weren't that far off. They were heading in the direction of it's not food, it's not in the air, it's not blah, blah, blah. It's a pestilence. It must be coming from the pests.
Yeah.
So in the UK, they killed 40,000 dogs and 200,000 cats to try and rid the plague. But then getting rid of 200,000 cats basically meant that the rats had free rein. and the rats that carried the fleas were everywhere, and so the plague did not go anywhere. It got worse. So maybe the Pope Gregory thing about killing all the cats has got some truth in it, but we're not too sure. But I quite like that little story anyway.
Yeah.
So the Black Death. Do you know how many people it killed?
No.
Millions, basically, across Europe. Absolutely millions. It's still around.
Fuck off.
Mm-hmm. So in some countries with poor sanitation, with not great medical care, so we're probably talking like, maybe some African countries that are like in the middle of nowhere, where there's not an awful lot, maybe in the mountains and all that. The plague can still wreak havoc, to be honest with you. Okay, so swiftly moving on from that. On this day in 1921, sticking with death, the death penalty was abolished in Sweden in 1921. Quite a long time ago.
Yeah.
According to the latest figures from Amnesty International, it was in 2022. Do you know how many countries have still got the death penalty?
32.
Nope. Do you know how many countries still got the death penalty, Cameron? Calvin? How many times do we do that?
I think 4.
4.
Yeah.
Still got the death penalty. Okay. 55 countries have still got the death penalty.
Yeah, it was a big
9 of these countries had the death penalty only for the most serious crimes, like multiple kill and war crimes.
Yeah.
23 have got the death penalty but have not used it for the last 10 years.
Right. Yeah.
It's believed that China has got the highest death penalty figures, but they don't actually release them publicly, so we're not too sure.
Yeah.
But high suspicions that there's very high death penalty rates there. Amnesty International also says that at least 2,016 death sentences were imposed in 2022, so just over 2,000 death sentences across the world. That was across 52 countries. Now, this is death penalties that we know about. This is the ones that have been logged. People are in prison, they're on death row or wherever. We're not talking about just like, and like terrorist type things or unrecorded in other countries, like communist countries, shall we say.
Yeah.
All I'm saying on that one. Okay. Globally, it's believed that over 28,000 people are currently under the sentence of death. Yeah. And many prisoners spend years or even decades on death row. I wouldn't like that. If I'm going to be put to death, just do it now. Just do it now. I don't want to be sitting there thinking about it, hoping for a reprieve.
Yeah.
If I'm going to die, just do it. So, apart from China, the countries which executed the most people, which do you think the other country that executed the most people?
That execute the most people?
Yeah, apart from China.
I don't know. Maybe somewhere in South America.
Iran.
Okay. Yeah.
Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
Egypt.
Yeah.
And the US. They have the highest amount of people being executed. So, on the 24th of January 2024, so what's that, 15, 16 months ago?
Yeah.
A guy called Eugene Kenneth Smith was the first person to be executed by nitrogen gas in the US. Now, they decided that they were going to try and change the technique because the medication that they need for lethal injection was becoming really hard to come by.
Yeah.
So they've been looking at other ways to kill people. Electric chair is still around in some states, but not in this particular state where he was. And so, nitrogen gas. Now, a couple of years before he actually did die, they attempted an execution. So 2 years before, by lethal injection. But it failed because he couldn't get a vein in time before the warrant ran out. There's like a set time you've got to do it within.
Okay.
If it's not done, it's off the table. And they couldn't find a vein. I mean, there's a good way of just doing that. You just don't drink. Just don't drink for a few days, basically, before you'd be a bit delirious. Like, no way they find a vein.
Yeah.
So there you go. If you're on death row, one way, just don't drink.
Thanks for watching.
So they tried again a couple of years later doing this nitrogen gas. Now, there was people watching him as he died, and some of them were media personnel who'd seen loads of executions before.
Yeah.
And they said they were absolutely horrified because he was convulsing and writhing and bouncing on the table. Now, nitrogen gas is very, very toxic, and it wasn't mixed with oxygen whatsoever.
So it's just straight.
Pure. Yeah. And it didn't take long before the oxygen in his body was replaced by gas, nitrogen gas. But if you think about it, it's basically going to strangle your blood cells. Course, you're not getting any oxygen whatsoever. It'd be like walking onto Mars with no oxygen. If you see in Total Recall, and they go outside, the head explodes and all that. Yeah. Well, for me, it's like I'm imagining something similar to that.
Yeah.
So he was kicking and writhing. It took him 25 minutes to die.
Fucking hell.
So for the people onlooking, that must have been absolutely horrific.
That must have felt like
I would not want to have seen that. No way. And like I say, the even the media personnel who've seen it loads of times before, like that was inhumane.
Yeah.
So the governor of the prison said, obviously they'd done some trials, they knew what to expect, and that went exactly how they expected.
Yeah.
What's humane about that? What do you think about the death penalty?
I think it should be in place for certain cases.
Yeah.
I personally do.
I mean, it saves a lot of money.
Yeah.
What do you think about the death penalty, Calvin?
I'm not for it, just because with the amount of innocent people that will get murdered, you can't undo that.
No.
Whereas if you wrongfully imprison somebody for 20 years, there's still a chance of reversing that.
Yeah.
And I think because it's so final, the alternative is killing people accidentally, even if it is a small amount.
Well, that's why the death penalty ended in the UK. Somebody swung and he was actually innocent. Was it Hanratty?
I can Google it.
Yeah.
Fucking plucking that from somewhere. David Hanratty or something like that, I think his name was. Something like that.
Isn't that the name of the fella in Catch Me If You Can?
Oh, I don't know.
Hanratty.
Is it?
So Tom Hanks's character plays,
okay.
Officer Hanratty.
Calvin's having a look now.
James Hanratty.
James Hanratty, that's
was a British criminal who was one of the final 8 people in the UK to be executed before capital punishment was abolishment. By all accounts, he seems to have actually done it.
Oh, he did do it. Okay. There was somebody who died, and I think he was innocent, and it put a stop to everything in the UK. My opinions on this is, if you're going to do it, if you've got the law which says that you can put somebody to death, I think they need to be doing it in the most humane way possible.
Yeah.
Not because they deserve it as such. I'd like to think that the people are being put to death, they are absolutely guilty.
Yeah.
Like Calvin's just said, there's always that risk that they're innocent. So I think it'd be reserved for people who have just pled guilty, or the evidence is just stacked so high. Or they are terrorists, that kind of thing, maybe.
Yeah.
Otherwise, there's a very thin ice that you're walking on. Really, there's always a chance, like Calvin said, that an innocent person could be killed. But if it's in the country and you're going to do it, I just think experimenting. This guy was a guinea pig. Experimenting on somebody and sentencing somebody to death and then putting them through that awful torture. But also the people looking.
Right on the James. There's a big thing with that James Hanratty fella.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people are saying that there's a big case that he didn't do anything.
Yeah, I thought so. Yeah, plucked that from somewhere, didn't I?
Yeah.
So if I was a person like in charge of the law and I was making a decision on the death penalty, and we decided to go ahead with it, I wouldn't have any of this. I wouldn't have the electric chair. I wouldn't have lethal injection. I certainly wouldn't have nitrogen gas. I'd just have a firing squad. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's quick. If you're going to do it, just a bullet in the head. 1 minute they're there, next minute they're not. Nobody else has got to see them fucking suffering.
Yeah.
They have a split second, 3, 2, 1, bang. Before they know it, they're gone. With something like this, what's been going through that man's head as he's fucking choking?
Fucking hell, I know.
I don't care what somebody's done. He could be the most awful person ever. But at the end of his life, he's still a man.
Yeah.
With independent thought.
Yeah.
Who would be frightened. And all them people who are watching are just going to be traumatised for life.
Yeah.
So actually,
Just
what good
has
has that actually done? Just put a fucking bullet in their head instead.
Yeah.
If I had a choice of how to go, it'd be a bullet in my head
Yeah.
if I had to go, you know? So
know-
that's my thoughts on the death penalty.
Do you know why firing squads come about?
No?
To share the guilt.
Really?
Yeah.
So it wasn't just one person's responsibility.
So it wasn't just me saying to you, right, go shoot Calvin.
Because
Yeah.
none of
Bang.
them know which have the live
Which
round,
bullet?
do they?
Yeah.
Some-
Okay, good
I
point.
think out of like 6, 5 of them will be blanks. I think.
Yeah, it was a point of like, out of the 6 of them, they didn't know who actually killed him.
Okay. So it's not going to play on your mind, I
So
suppose, like
it-
I was the person that
It
killed.
dilutes the guilt, or
Yeah.
you know,
Okay.
something along them lines. Yeah.
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 Okay, I get that. Could you pull the trigger on somebody?
If I had to.
Yeah.
It depends on the circumstance. I wouldn't do it for a laugh.
Despite everything that I do as a professional dominatrix, now Calvin's seen that, and I can be a lot crueler than that. I don't think I could.
In certain circumstances, I think anyone.
I
could.
think if somebody was, threatening my child or
Yeah.
Jim, they had a gun to his head,
Mhm.
and I had a gun in my hand, I'd shoot them, no problem at all,
Yeah.
to save Jim.
100%.
But somebody who's unarmed, who's just standing there waiting to be shot, I don't think I could do that.
Yeah.
It takes a special kind of person to be able to compartmentalise that once you've done it.
Yeah.
It's a big thing to carry for the whole of your life.
Yeah. So it's murder, isn't it?
And I think because I've brought life into the world so many times,
Yeah.
and you see how innocent that life is,
Yeah.
and most of what happens to them, they learn. It's through circumstance.
Mhm.
They're born pure. Okay, there's a nature-nurture thing. There's an argument.
Yeah.
But even if there's nature in there, nature has still got to play a part to bring this murderer or whatever to
Yeah,
fruition.
yeah.
But when you see a baby so innocent and they're helpless and they know nothing, and you're like, oh, that person that's about to be shot, that was somebody's son or daughter at some point.
Yeah.
And they are a product of something, aren't they? They weren't born a murderer or a terrorist or whatever.
Yeah.
And so I've brought that life into the world. I don't think I could take that life away. It just goes a little bit too deep for me. I think I cherish life more because I've seen it on a knife edge. I've held a baby as it slipped away, and how innocent they are, and they just go.
Yeah. I've held my little lads when he's close.
Exactly. And it humbles you, and it makes you realise actually how fragile life is. And so I don't think I could do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think so. Yeah. And your life's a long life to lead with that on your mind. Isn't it?
Yeah.
Right. I was going to do a segment, but we've talked quite a lot about that. I thought that was quite interesting.
Yeah. Good.
So I'm actually going to go to a dangly bit, and then we're
Okay.
going to go to your segment,
Yeah.
and then we'll finish.
Hokey cokey.
Because this segment, I was actually going to do it on the live the other day.
then
I found something else.
Saying, yeah.
Then I found something else, as I always do. And I thought, I'll do it today. And now I'm not.
Yeah.
So, me dangly bit. We've talked about terrorists before. It's all LinkedIn. I didn't actually mean it to. There's a guy, I don't know if you could bring that Instagram reel up that I sent you. I don't know whether it's working, but let's see. There's a guy who is basically a terrorism tourist. So wherever there's been a disaster in the world, he will go on holiday there directly afterwards because there's cheap flights, cheap hotels.
I think I've seen this.
Nobody goes back to the scene of the crime.
No.
And he goes because, it's great. So if you can bring it up, I don't know if you've got sound on there.
I mean, this sounds kind of macabre, but I like to go to visit a country after a terrorist attack.
Okay.
After a terrorist attack, the horse has already left the barn. It's cheap. I was in Istanbul after they had that bombing at the airport. So I went there.
Jesus Christ.
And there was a bus, supposedly 50 people. How many people do you think were on the bus?
2.
1.
You.
So I got the whole tour.
And they're like, why are you
The
here?
whole bus, and I stayed at a $300 a night hotel for $30.
Oh my god.
I was in Morocco after they chopped off two girls' heads off, and I was on this trail, on the same trail that they were.
So wait, when you read the news of a terrorist attack, you're like, time to hit orbits.
You get really good deals, and the security is fantastic.
Security is fantastic.
I've gotten flights to Peru, round trip for $280.
And what happened right before that?
Oh, there was probably an earthquake or something.
So 9/12/2001, you're on a flight to New York. You're like, let's do this.
Yeah.
I think that's it.
What do you do for fun?
I mean, it sounds kind of macabre.
But he's not wrong. When it was fucking years ago now, must be about 10, 12 years ago, there was a revolution happening in Egypt, and they were fucking rioting on the streets. And I booked to go for 2 weeks, and the manager in work, she was talking to someone who was really struggling with mental health. She was like, if you need a month off, just come and ask us for a month, and we can get you a month off, sort of thing. But she said it in the middle of the team leader meeting, and I was like, I'm going to Egypt for a month. Got on my phone, I was like, I amend my book, and I was like, how much is it for 2 extra weeks? It was 50 quid.
Go away.
For another 2 weeks. I was like, fucking
Is that because of all the trouble that was going on? Nobody was going over there.
Yeah. So I went into to Kath and went, Kath, I need a month off. She went, you can't have a month off. I said, you've just fucking said, come and ask for a month off.
Yeah.
She went, you can't have a month off. I said, I've booked Egypt for a month. I'm going for a month. So do whatever you have to do. I'm having a month off. And yeah, went for a month. It was fucking boss.
Did you go on your own?
Yeah.
Wow.
During the Arab Spring, the uprising.
It was hot. Yeah.
What? Wow.
It was 43 in the shade.
So is this?
No, that's the name of the.
That's the name of the incident.
Sorry.
You thought he was talking about the weather.
I thought you were talking about temperature. No. Yeah, no,
yeah, it was warm, like. We'll laugh at your expense. I'm so sorry.
I didn't get involved in the politics.
Obviously not.
I was needed to know something was going on that made it cheap. But yeah, they were like, don't go out on the streets. So I was like, well, I want to see it. They were fucking kicking off, like.
Would you like to explain what the Arab Spring is to Rai, because he's looking bemused?
Arab Spring's the name for all of the kind of in those kind of Middle Eastern countries when there was all the demonstrations and sort of power to the people, overthrowing governments. And,
yes.
I think there was like the Syrian dictator. It was like all kind of linked. Yeah. It was like the craziest time ever, and I love the image of you just like, oh, God, this is great.
Just cutting about in a North Face top.
Going for a month.
What's happening, boys? Yeah. What are we doing? Gotta give us the sign.
I'll hold your sign for you.
Oh, it was mental. It was absolutely mental. The hotel was dead.
No way. Brilliant.
All the excursions were dead cheap and everything. It was fucking boss.
So there you go, terrorism. I mean, it's a little bit crass, like, isn't it? But he's getting cheap deals. I mean, the fact that he said he went on the same trail as that murder and nobody else was on, he had it all to himself in the bus.
How many people do you think were on the bus? 2? One. Me.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Right then, over to you. What have you got for us, Ray?
So, I always find it dead hard to find something to talk about or something to get inspired about, because unless it's fucking music or World of Warcraft, I don't really get inspired by a lot of stuff. But the other night I watched a film that I've been waiting to watch for ages. I say waiting to watch like I'm waiting for it to come out. It's been out for fucking ages. It's just finding time to get round, sit down and watch a film and give it me full attention. It doesn't come very often. So I'd seen a few clips of this on TikTok and I was like, yeah, I'm not. If I see any more clips on TikTok, I'm skipping them because I want to watch the whole film. It's called Only the Brave. Mm-hmm. Have you heard of it?
I have. Don't really know much about it.
Yeah. It was released in 2017. It's got Josh Brolin in it. It's got Miles Teller in it. And it follows the story of a group of hotshots, Granite Mountain hotshots, who are firefighters who fight wildfires.
Okay. God, that's tough work, that.
So I've always had like a huge interest in being a firefighter. I was going to go for it a few years back, but
what stopped you?
A few things got in the way with kids and stuff like that. But it's always been like things. So again, it had like a proper interest to me. And do you know the way they fight wildfires? The lads on the ground.
No.
So they'll spot a wildfire. They'll try and see which way the wind's blowing it, which way it's going, and they'll try and get ahead of it to a section. And they'll dig big lines, big like ditches sort of thing, and then they'll it's called a controlled burn. So they'll actually burn the vegetation before the fire gets there. Yeah. So it effectively creates nothing else for it to burn. If they can get there, sort of thing.
The heat around it, though.
Yeah, I've honoured. Yeah. So I always thought, because you see clips of like, wildfires going on in America, and you just see these helicopters just sucking people's pools up, don't you?
Yeah.
And they fuck off. And I just thought that's how they handle it. And it was a bit of an eye opener watching this, but it's based on a true story.
Okay.
And I didn't figure that out till the end of the film. There's one bit where they save this like tree, which is like a relic of everyone around them. And in the film, they all get on each other's, the way like you kneel and then the next person puts one knee and the human pyramid.
Yes.
And they do that in the film, and it shows you the actual picture of the lads at the end who done it. And I was like, fuck, no way, this is based off a true story. And it's down to the detail. Now, if you want to watch this film,
spoiler alert.
Yeah, there'll be spoilers. There's one point where they're fighting this huge fire. It was in 2013, and it was Yarnell Hill fire. Massive fire. And one of the lads out of the 20 went to go down, look out, and wind changed drastically. And the fire started just chewing up all the vegetation. He nearly got caught. Another hotshot crew grabbed him, because you tend to get a few crews coming together to work on big fires. They got him out to safety, but the other 19, they were meant to come back to a certain place, but they wanted to help and fight, so they ended up going further in. They ended up getting caught in the fire. Now you've got these heat sheets that you can sort of get yourself in and get down. They are reflective. They keep the heat out, but the fire was just too wild.
Too intense.
Killed all 19 of them.
When was this?
This was 2013.
And in America?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's American wildfires. It's California area?
Arizona.
Yeah.
And this is one of the deadliest incidents for firefighters in US history. One of the deadliest wildfire events since 1933.
I mean, these wildfires, and you see them take hold. Gosh, it's just indiscriminate damage.
Oh, yeah.
Unbelievable.
The film really sheds a solid light on it. Like, obviously, the first few fires you see in the film, you're like, oh, yes, it's a wildfire sort of thing. But the last one that you see, oh, it's fucking brutal.
No
like, the lads sprinting out the bushes, and it's just fucking chewing it up. But that's what happens, isn't it? And you see as well, even if it's in one spot and the wind's picking up the embers are just falling onto dry.
Oh, they're just setting it all off, yeah.
Yeah, it was crazy to watch, but it was such a good film.
It was worth the wait then.
Yeah. I'm really glad I watched it.
That sounds like Jim would like to watch that.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd watch it as well, but it's funny because we like some of the same stuff, but not always. And to get a film that we both like, I'd like to see that.
Yeah, but the lad, Miles Teller plays, he's drug addict, failing at life, gets a girl pregnant, has to go and get a job, turns up at this hotshot camp. They all fucking tell him to leg it. But the lad's in charge, Josh Brolin, he said, no, we'll give him a shot.
Okay.
We're going up to the top of that mountain, keep up with us. And he doesn't. But he turns up like fucking 6 hours later with a selfie of him on top of the mountain. He's like, I made it. He's like, you know what? We'll give him a shot. And he turns out being like one of the most integral parts of the team. But the whole film's good.
Yeah.
It's not just like, oh, we're watching for the big fire at the end.
Yeah.
Like,
so it grabbed you and you maintained.
There's so many little intricate stories about the families and the brotherhood and stuff like that. It gels everything together nicely. But it is a sad film. Like,
I think because you've got the interest in firefighting as well, it's obviously kept your attention, hasn't it?
True, there's that as well.
What was it about firefighting? Because obviously you're running into situations that everybody else is running out of.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just always, I don't know. I like helping people anyway.
Yeah.
But I know that's like an extreme side.
But you're only young. You could still go for that when the little
possibly,
brats are older.
Possibly, yeah.
Just make sure you got time to podcast.
Yeah.
Get time off work for the pod.
Can't fight a fight today. Or it'd either be that.
Can't fight a fire.
Yeah.
Do the pod.
No fires on Mondays, please. It would either be that or the Coast Guard.
Okay.
I'd love to go on the lifeboat. You know.
Well, we've got literally a lifeguard station just down the way from ours because we're on the front, aren't we?
Of course, yeah.
And walked past it a few times. And obviously, you've got lifeguards on the beach
Yeah.
itself. Not many,
Yeah.
but the boats are going out all the time because it's a busy river. It's a working river.
Yeah.
And you see the Coast Guard out all the time. You see the RNLI guys in the pub with the
Love
little
it.
top on and all
Love
that.
it.
Said to Jim, I said, hey, you're semi-retired.
Of course, yeah.
You could go and do that. And he went, no. I went, but you know, it's something nice to do, and with your time, you're a good swimmer. You don't get seasick. He just went, no,
There's no explanation.
no. He obviously doesn't want to be brave and help other people. He's just quite happy in his garden. Yesterday when Liverpool were playing, I'm like, oh god, there's fucking fireworks going off as Jim got onto it. They just won. Fucking fireworks going off. I'm like, he's going to say in a minute, fucking bastards have won.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did he say anything?
No, I said Liverpool have just won 5-1. Yeah, he's just like,
Just a little subtle one.
He's in the back of the house, not looking at the Anfield Stadium on the front.
Yeah. You probably see the smoke from yours,
We did?
you? Yeah.
Well, I did.
Hey, did you see? That's some Evertonians have been selling blue flares
I saw the
as
picture.
red.
I saw the picture. Have you seen the picture?
Fucking
There's a
hilarious.
picture. Oh, I can't show it yet. There's a picture of all Liverpudlians going into the ground with red flares. And some fucking knobhead has sold a red flare with blue in it. And he's all, there's just like blue smoke going up in the red. I'm like, there's that Jim in there.
Yeah.
Causing fucking murder with his blue flare.
I seen the video when he lights it. And he puts it up and everyone's going, boo.
Yeah. Calvin's just trying to find it now. I don't think he'll be able to find it.
Absolute class.
No, that's really good. Anything else to say about the movie
No,
before we move on?
there wasn't a lot, and I don't want to give
Right, I'm just going to write it down. What's it called again?
Only the Brave.
I'll put it on the front, actually. 'Cause I'll watch it.
It was on Netflix, I think.
On Netflix?
Yeah. But
Only the Brave.
yeah, I know. Just going through the research, it really was true to what hot shot crews go through.
Do you know when they do films like that and they don't stick to the facts? Fucks me off.
Yeah.
There's one about fucking hell, a boxer. What was he called? Iron Fist, Iron Hand, something big hand. Oh fuck. Don't know. It's a family anyway of boxers. The dad was a wrestler.
Oh,
wrestler. Dad was a wrestler. All of his sons basically became wrestlers.
Yeah.
There's one in particular, and he was played by somebody famous, Mark Wahlberg.
Oh, yeah.
And there's loads of bits in it that weren't true.
Man,
And the family are not happy with it.
I hate that.
Well, if you're going to tell a story, try and stay authentic because you're doing a disservice to the person you're talking about, aren't you?
Yeah. There's one film, it's your favourite film, it's called Lone Survivor.
I don't think I've seen that. Actually.
It's about a group of soldiers that try and go and do intel in the Afghan mountains. They just want to see if this MVP or, a value target is at this place. Spot him, confirm it's him and fuck off out. They get caught by a couple of shepherds when they're in the bushes. And they're like, well, we can't fucking kill them. It's war crime.
Yeah.
It goes to jail.
Yeah.
It's like, well, no one's going to know. And they're all having arguments between them. And the guy in charge says, we've got to let them go.
Yeah.
So they let them go, and everyone's like, this is a fucking bad idea. They go fucking running off to an Afghan camp, and next thing you got 200 soldiers coming through the mountains. And the only bit that sort of skewed the truth is obviously all the soldiers die off one by one. They've been getting shot for hours as they run back through the mountains. They're not too sure on how this guy died, so they made it up in the film. They gave him a fucking great send off though.
Did they?
Fucking great send off.
Now you see, if they contact the family and say,
yeah.
do you know how he died?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Do you think it could be this? No idea. Right, okay. So let's make something fucking amazing then for him.
Yeah.
So the family know about it. They're all right about it.
Yeah.
It's when, like this family, the wrestling family, did not like it.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, isn't it? Yeah.
So it's like, if you're going to tell a story about me, the dominatrix, get it fucking right.
Get it right.
You know?
Yeah.
Right. Let's move on. Before we go, we're going to do a quick fetish factoid.
Let's have it.
I need to be able to say the word. Hang on.
Oh.
I've actually broken it down phonetically.
It's going to be a good one then.
It's Japanesio. So I need Dylan.
Oh, no!
Okay, so hang on. Do you know what Wakamazaki is? Wakamazaki?
Wakazaki.
Wakamazaki.
Wakazaki.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. So, basically, Wakazaki translates to seaweed sake.
Okay.
No?
Seaweed sake, like a drink.
Yeah. Seaweed giving you a clue?
Cheers.
No. Cheers! What's seaweed got to do with salty? Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. But no. So now, this is something I did by accident.
Oh.
Okay. It's an erotic drinking practice where sake is poured over the body of a naked person, usually into the dip formed at the pelvis when they're lying down. The idea is that the sake pools in the natural curves of the body, kind of like turning the human body into a fancy living drinking vessel.
Okay.
So the wakami part, it says it's a nickname of the body hair, and as the sake is pooling and it gets poured, it's going to filtrate through the pubic hair. And the idea is that the person receiving drinks the filtered sake, with all the pubic lice in it and everything.
Unless they've got a pube wig.
Unless what's it called? A merkin. Yeah.
Merkin.
So that's the idea, is that you pour it and you drink it through
the filtered.
Yeah.
Or the
So, where did it come from? In the 1980s in Japan, during when nightlife and hostess clubs and everything were booming.
Yeah.
It became really popular, partly through an erotic film that was out at the time. Pinku something, I can't remember what it's called now. It often featured playful, outrageous scenes of sexuality and stuff like that. And this Wakazaki, whatever it's called, was portrayed all the time in these movies. And it became like a cult thing, and it really, really took off. And so it's seen in private bars, parties, hostess bars still now, in adult themed performances, clubs like ours, that kind of thing. So even as a Japanese thing, it has obviously cottoned on everywhere else. It's just not called that.
Yeah.
And where do I come into that? So I presented myself on my birthday one year on the bar naked. I was a bit younger. My tits weren't so saggy. They didn't go poof on the side like they do now anyway, let's put it that way. I've done this a few times. This one was with drinks. And some bright spark, possibly even me, decided I was going to be a tequila bar for everybody for the night. So I was lying on the bar on towels. Obviously, I wasn't just getting my body out on the bar. And people put little shot glasses of tequila around, little lines of salsa, fucking lines of Coke, and sliced lemon all around my body. And one person, I can't say his name, you know who you are, decided it would be really funny to put some lemon in between me flaps, basically.
Who was it? I know them.
And so basically people would have to lick the salt off my body, grab a lemon, and then with their mouth, and then take a shot of tequila. People have already had a few drinks by then.
Oh,
so it got messy. Yeah. I'd trimmed the garden. I hadn't actually. I'd fucking completely obliterated my garden before the event. Obviously everywhere as well.
Yeah.
Didn't think the tequila would sting like fuck with salt, with lemon. I'm trying not to move because the more I move, the more tequila's going everywhere, giving me fucking ring sting. So I'm trying to lie there like that, dead still, as there's about 40 glasses of tequila on my body, and people are like, don't give a shit. In the end, it was so bad that people were just picking it up and just pouring it over my fanny. Fucking hell, mate, the sting was unreal. It was unreal.
I've done the same.
I know, and I was laughing. But internally, please let this be over because the burn.
Just getting up off the bar, going home.
Oh. So, I had a shower afterwards just to scrub me minge of all the tequila.
Shout out Femme Fresh.
It was funny the day when Dan came to our live. I was introduced to him as Femme Fresh Boy.
Was that him?
No way. That was Femme Fresh Boy.
Didn't he smell lovely?
Right. on that tequila swilling femme fresh bombshell, we are going once again. So if you're binge watching, put the kettle on. We'll see you in 5. If not, we'll see you next week.
Lots of love.
And there we have it. Another day made better by listening to the Curators of Chaos. Thanks for dropping by. And if you enjoyed the show, we'd really appreciate you sharing the Love the Padded Cell podcast with your friends. Don't forget to give us a follow on our socials, maybe some 5-star reviews, and feel free to send us an email to medic@thepaddedcellpodcast.co.uk, or even interact with us on Facey, Insta, and our other socials, because we love chatting to you. Make sure you stop by next week because, as Bowie says, I don't know where I'm going next, but I promise it won't be boring. Catch you soon.